It is internship and fellowship recruitment season in academic medical centers. I'm Dr. Julia. I'm a licensed pediatric psychologist, and I am one of the faculty members that people can train with either on practicum, during their clinical internship, or fellowship. And right now is the time when people are hearing back about internship interviews and about fellowship interviews. And I think a really interesting dynamic that often is discussed in psychology and academic medical centers, because I think we are trying to be more mindful of it, is the power imbalance of a trainee or a learner that is with a faculty member who is also applying to that same program for further training. For example, if you're a practicum student applying for internship, if you're an intern applying for fellowship, or a fellow applying for a job, it can be really challenging to balance that dynamic of being a trainee, a learner in that setting, wanting to establish boundaries, also seeking opportunities in that department. I don't have like one clear, great answer, but something that I have been thinking about as a newer faculty member and somebody who has just gone through this process is being mindful that my trainees might not feel comfortable saying no to me because they might be relying on a letter of recommendation from me, or they might be relying on a good word during the process. And of course, we'd like to think that we are all these like unbiased and amazing faculty, but we all have our own biases. So things that I keep in mind is very clear expectations. So knowing what is actually part of the job description for them, like the practicum or the internship or the fellowship. What are reasonable goals and expectations for that learner? Trying to be very mindful to not accidentally take advantage, right? It doesn't have to be purposeful for it to be taking advantage of a person in a different position in this power imbalance. If you're a training director, this especially comes to mind. Luckily, we have fabulous ones, but I can imagine that being really tricky. Maybe you're in a more cutthroat environment. So these are just things that have been floating around my mind as we've been getting people applying to our training site.